Welcome to episode 4 of Star to Be Determined podcast, the podcast where we watch old sci-fi because we can.
I like that. That pretty
Yeah.
much sums up the whole raison d'etre of this podcast.
Indeed, but now we need to talk about the most important news with regards to the podcast. What do
And
you think of the logo that I spent copious hours putting together?
I like the duck.
Well, you said, will there be a duck, and I promised you a duck, and I delivered a duck, so I hope you're happy, sir.
I also enjoyed the tiny little, what I assume is a Stargate off to the right.
Yes, and the duck will be attached to the files when we finally push this thing out into the world so people can bask in the glory of the duck. Now, question number 2. What are we going to name the duck? Because we can't have a duck and possibly beavers in the future without a name.
Oh, jeez. I guess Howard's already taken.
Howard is taken, and I don't know if that would be good or bad karma, invoking Howard the duck.
That's true.
We could go along those lines and call him Ron.
Okay, but I think at that point we've gone like 2 degrees away from what we started with.
Too meta?
Little too meta, yeah.
Okay, no Ron Howard it is.
Well, he is wearing a Delta crest, so maybe we can just call him Red Shirt.
But he's yellow. There's no red at all. I'd have to change him to be red.
Okay, fine.
He's yellow. That would make him engineering.
Okay, I'm just going with simplicity here. About just Ensign Duck.
I'll take Ensign Duck. Ensign Duck it is.
Okay. Whew. You see the life grappling decisions that we make on this podcast.
I know. We're saving people from having to decide what to name our duck by naming our duck Ensign Duck. And if we actually have fans, we may be allowed to have them pick something between Ensign and Duck. But for now, Ensign Duck it is.
And I would just like to note that we showed the entire process from, concept to naming live, unfiltered. So you're welcome, people who might watch this in the future.
Also, as one of my favorite podcasts has taught me, live to tape is the only way to do a podcast.
All right.
And 90% of all podcast meetings should be held during the podcast.
You get that sort of spontaneity only here.
Exactly. So are we ready to get down with episode 10, season 1 of The Next Generation?
I'm ready to play if you are. Wait, are we on episode 9?
Well, Wikipedia calls it episode 10 and gives episode 1 a 1 and 2 credit for being twice as long.
Oh, okay.
And I decided to stick with Wikipedia numbering because nothing on Wikipedia is ever inaccurate.
Okay. Whew. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure we were watching the same episode.
Yes. Hide and Q.
All right.
If you don't see Q, we have a problem. And engage. Oh, that's loud. Eventually, I'll remember to adjust my audio before I start the podcast. Oh yeah! In addition to the logo, I have a second thing I'm working on that may or may not result in DMCA takedowns. So you'll see that when it's finished.
Ooh. The mood's too tense. I haven't seen this in a long time. I'm pretty sure Q is just going to step in and don't worry about them. Pay attention to me.
The only thing I remember about this episode is that it contains Q, mostly because it's called Hide and Q. And that's kind of a give me.
And here we go.
That's not to say, didn't we see that same grid a few episodes ago?
That was in episode 1, Encounter at Farpoint.
Ah, yes. The Lost episode from 4 years ago.
I do have to say, I think this might be the last time we see this.
Appearing as some sort of a snake creature.
With three
That was
heads.
never really one of his things that I recall him doing a lot. Apparently, they were still trying to figure out his shtick.
Hey, if you could be a three-headed cobra ball of light, you would be a three-headed cobra ball of light.
I'd actually probably go for 42-headed Cobra Ball of Light in honor of Douglas Adams. May he rest in peace. And as an entity, as a Q entity, technically he could just make himself an official admiral on a whim, and technically they have to respect that, given his power set.
It's true. I just like though how his uniform looks like he got it from a costume store.
Season 1.
Production values do eventually go up.
They do eventually go up.
Oh.
Those models look so good. I wonder how much it would cost to buy one of those models. It cannot be
I'm gonna
cheap.
guess. I guess this more than you have, or
I
are
don't
willing to
know.
spend.
I think that the latter is probably the more appropriate statement. So I'm pretty sure I could liquidate my retirement savings and buy one if I needed to.
Well, let's keep those options open.
Or I could have you buy it.
Pass. Uh,
Tasha Yar.
we can't be that far away from her death. You know.
We're you just spoilers.
Sorry, anything after 25 years is no longer a spoiler. Actually, no, this is like 30 years now, so.
Ironically, we have this exact conversation in the first episode of our podcast. Where is it? Yeah, episode 12 is called The Big Goodbye, so I've got my fingers crossed that it's episode 12 that we get to see that weird muck monster whose sole purpose is to get her out of her contract.
Oh, the muck monster. Yeah, that's not real gold trim.
Did they really accept him as a three-headed snake?
They were like willing to go with it.
He does have a valid point.
It's very true. We are.
What was that snarl? And was that not the lamest insult he could have possibly come up with for a Klingon?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, that wasn't the worst thing Q's ever done. I think he's
It's true.
overreacting slightly to Q's minor inconvenience.
Oh, that's not good.
Q is so oddly benevolent and not at the same time.
Indeed. Oh no.
And now he's turned into Loki.
Q Q really is just an omnipotent Loki.
Oh, look at how depressed he is that he didn't get to go with his friends.
I know, right?
You know what would have been better is if Q would have just randomly gave Riker a beard.
Way,
That
way to
was
wrap it all up, Data.
okay. So clearly he took like a half dozen people to his magic planet. Where's the rest of the crew? Why aren't they responding to Picard?
Maybe Picard got sent to like a made-up version of the Enterprise where it's just him,
I
just
guess
so we could have Patrick Stewart playing against Patrick Stewart.
my complete lack of recollection of what happens in this episode does leave that open for possibility.
You have Patrick Stewart though, like he's the one member of this cast who like we're just gonna leave you in a locked room for the episode. Just do what comes naturally.
Yeah, here, just wing it. We've got faith in you. It'll work out.
Can you imagine if they did that with Geordi? It would be so boring.
It would be.
Oh, I forgot
So
his little Napoleon
Red
thing.
Napoleon. Why did they bother pointing the phasers at Q?
I don't
Like
know. I
they
figured
they
I figure it's instinct at this point.
because clearly it's not going to do anything. Just like good lemonade.
I was just wondering if that was lemonade.
Well, I don't know what else it would be.
Dirty water.
Bam! Nailed it.
Man, I was hoping it was dirty 1800s water.
Why does Data have a drink?
You might be curious.
Of course,
Oh, Worf. And then, of course, he has to break the glass.
technically, shouldn't Q know that answer already?
He probably. And shouldn't all species have to change and keep striving? I mean, I doubt it's just us who could, like, not abide standing still.
I think the Vulcans would probably be okay with it.
That's true.
And did you realize? I think we're 10 episodes in, and I don't think there's been a single Vulcan on this show yet.
Maybe in the background.
At least Riker's enjoying this.
I know. I was just thinking, like, at least he likes the game.
He gets it. He understands. Q's just looking to have some fun, and if he kills me, then who's he gonna play with?
He won't kill me. He'll kill the random person behind me.
He's wearing a red shirt, though.
Oh! Yeah, but we're about to lose her in like 2 episodes anyway, so.
No, is it really that big of a loss?
Ooh, so dramatic.
Her main claim to fame is looking stoic and seducing Data.
Oh, pretty much, yeah. See, look how like brooding and Shakespearean he looks, just wandering
I
around his
know.
bridge.
Wow. That means he's in the penalty box, and Q lied. What kind of a? How is a box with Patrick Stewart a penalty?
I'm not gonna be on the harsh planet where people are gonna be trying to kill me. I'm actually gonna be on the bridge of my ship with my captain. Yeah, I would rather have just Patrick Stewart by himself. This is kind of grating.
Just does her face look a little green to you?
Yeah, there's some. I'm not sure if it's makeup issues or what.
Aww.
And that's not referenced ever again. What a shame.
I was kind of expecting him to like pat her on the head like a dog. He'd be like, "Good girl."
Me too. Oh. So he centered the penalty box as sort of a way to tell the other people, if you get penalized, she's dead. But now he's there after like 5 minutes. He's like, oh yeah, penalty's done.
I like his little French accent saying Picard's name. That's a nice touch.
Oh yeah.
Wait, does that mean that we can extract DNA from the Enterprise and make dinosaurs?
Or, more enterprises.
Ooh.
Forever.
A beard?
Oh,
Because
one can only hope.
that is really what Riker needs. And if Q
It really
knows
is.
Riker, that is the one thing that he should offer him. Wait, how does Geordi have better vision than Data?
Because Jordy's basically wearing binoculars all the
But
time.
if you were to make a cybernetic life form, would you not give him binocular eyeballs?
Well, who knows what Dr. Soon was thinking. Because there's no fun in that.
Let's just be grateful Q's not Jigsaw from Saw.
Oh, can you imagine a psychopathic Q? Oh,
Is he not psychopathic?
okay. A worse psychopathic Q?
I guess an R-rated Q would be the more appropriate explanation.
How about a Q Deadpool merger?
Oh, that'd be even better. I'd actually prefer that, I think. You saw Once Upon a Deadpool, didn't you?
I did.
It was so good. Oh, please quote. Oh, yeah. Mm.
Oh yeah, he just Hamleted you.
Is there anything better than Patrick Stewart doing Shakespeare?
No, but like he just had a Shakespeare throwdown with an omnipotent being and came off the better.
Because it's Patrick Stewart. No one can out Shakespeare Patrick Stewart. I think he would have done Shakespeare better than Shakespeare did Shakespeare.
Oh, it's true. That's a lot of power.
If the phaser's going to blow things up, would you really want to blow things up and give away your position at a time like this?
Yeah, it doesn't seem very smart. Like Worf. I totally forgot about the pig soldiers.
That did not seem too terribly fast to me, but okay. That was clever.
Oh yeah, pig soldiers have laser rifles. That's a lot of power for a tiny little cricket phaser.
Thanos snap.
Yes. Aw, he didn't even stab. He just raised his hand.
Uh,
This is how you can tell that he's inexperienced.
I know.
You need some flair. You need the snap.
You need the flair, but also you need that because otherwise your subconscious will start taking over. You need to have some sort of tangible action to initiate your power. Otherwise, your human brain is going to cause problems.
'Tis true.
Which is a later episode. I don't recall of what season though.
We'll get there someday.
Hey, we're already making much better progress than we were last time we tried this. You are missing most of your bridge crew.
Oh, Q. Of course he did. Don't be silly.
And they're perfectly fine with snake people, and those are what bother them.
Because the snake thing was so cool. He was a bald light with 3 cobra heads.
No, not that snake people. I'm talking about the snake people who eat the other ambassadors at the end of the episode.
Oh, yes. You know, I'm just realizing Troy is not in this episode. Like, at all.
Maybe she was busy. Wow, he snapped rather quickly.
Yeah. Oh, he took a step down. He's like a captain now.
I know.
Oh, no. Those are 3 pips. He's a commander.
Bearded Riker.
Beard. Beard. Beard.
Do it.
Beard.
Do it, Riker. You have the power of Q. That is clearly what you should do. Do you hear an echo?
Sorry?
Oh, I heard a weird echo.
And he's made it quite clear. I gave you all the powers of the Q. You should become one of us. Here's where we live. I connected all the dots already.
Do you remember the episode where they explain what it's like, and he's like, "I once spent 10,000 years as that bookcase." Do you remember that episode?
Yeah. The other guy's like, oh, who hasn't?
Dun, dun, dun.
How do you get beyond omnipotent and omniscient? Now, going back to that episode of Voyager you're just talking about, they imprisoned a Q because he wanted that.
Yes, yes, you are. Wesley!
Hey, Wesley is just here now.
Because why not, Wesley?
Oh, hey, it's the big people.
Maybe they'll kill Wesley.
Of course not. Don't be silly. I have to wonder who the extras they got to dress up as pig people inside of Napoleonic officer uniforms.
They probably enjoyed it.
Oh, Worf.
For a second there, I thought they were going to actually hit him.
There it
Oh,
goes.
yep.
And oh,
So much for Worf.
what are you doing?
Oh, I was right. They did kill Wesley. Oh, wow, that's a lot of blood for primetime TV at this time of.
Oh, snap.
Ruh-roh.
Oh, he was only a little dead.
Apparently, Q wasn't trying hard enough.
Okay, so not anymore.
Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun.
Riker looks so smug right now.
He
Like,
does.
I don't understand his emotional arc here.
You'd have emotional problems too if you were lacking your beard.
I like everyone's just back at their stations. Let's talk about your godlike powers.
Close? I think close is an understatement.
Pretty much. Maybe Q would have made more progress with Riker if he told Riker about spending 10,000 years as the Scarecrow.
It would have helped. Especially if the Scarecrow had a beard.
Yes.
I'm not going to let this beard thing go until he has a beard on his face.
I got some bad news for you then. It's going to be a while.
I'm pretty sure he has it at the start of season 2.
He does, but we're on episode 10?
Yeah.
There are literally 12 more episodes.
We'll get
Actually,
there.
there could be more than 12. So it's going to take a while.
Let's see here. Let's go to the Bastion of Truth. Book of Knowledge. There are 26 episodes in season 1.
Okay, so you got 16 more episodes.
The Neutral Zone. I thought that was a DS9 thing.
No.
Okay, you have the power of a god. Why are these people still miserable?
Because Picard told him not to use it. And we always do what Picard says. Go, super strong robot man.
Geordi really looks like he's not pulling his weight in this one.
Not at all. Oh, it's a little girl. She's gone. Oh no. God Riker's first test. Ty, why does God Riker let bad things happen to good people?
Because he doesn't have a beard. I thought we already went over this. It's
Sorry,
the
my
source.
faith in God Riker is a little shaky.
His lack of benevolence is due to his lack of facial hair, and it takes a while to grow a beard when you're God. So he just hasn't put it all together yet. He just needs to get his mind in the right place, put a beard on his face, and then we can move on with our lives.
Okay. Oh, someone's getting a little power drunk. Oh, snap.
Oh, he's getting uppity.
That is rank insubordination right there. I like how he says, with you and your bridge staff, like he's not one of the crew. Oh.
Look at those head turns. It's just like boom, boom, turn, turn. Quick, precise.
Well, we're humans are more evolved in the future. They have gooder control of the neck muscles.
Did you just say gooder?
Did I? I don't remember.
That is a very grievous slip from you, sir.
Sorry, Riker's lack of beard and godlike powers is really messing with me.
Okay, I'll forgive your grammar slip if Riker's not having a beard. It is understandable. I like how they just weasel Wesley in for no reason whatsoever.
Because everyone loves Wesley. Who doesn't like
Especially in the
Wesley?
early seasons.
Oh no.
He's monologuing.
Usually, when someone says I have powers but I'm not a monster, they are about to prove how much of a monster they are.
He's gonna kill Wesley.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. First name basis.
Nailed it.
If we ever need to stand up to a god, we need Patrick Stewart.
Man, he's so good. He stands up to Q. He stands up to God Riker. He stands up to Magneto. The Sentinels.
He stands up to
Moby
everybody.
Dick. There is nothing that man can't do.
Oh. Jordy with the insight. Nope.
That is an interesting choice of wardrobe.
I do love his outfits.
And that smile.
I think the outfit, I think that means he's a Franciscan. Maybe a Benedictine.
I like how we comment on something And then Patrick Stewart, in his ever growing wisdom, comments on the same thing 5 seconds later, multiple times. Worf is so confused.
As usual.
Usually it's Data that's confused by stuff like that.
Data's probably analyzing where his clothing is from.
That takes what, like 1/100th of a second on a
Yeah,
slow day?
but then he's contemplating the meaning of life. I figure that Data only gives 5% to what's happening around him at any given time.
I don't know why I find this so funny.
Because it's so over the top. And he's such a ham and he plays right into it. See, Data just tuned in. Picard's just like, just wait. Just wait for it. Nope. Target number 1.
He's going back to that last planet. That does not look like Will Wheaton. Something went horribly wrong with this genetic experiment.
I think he looks better than Will Wheaton.
Real boy.
Oh. Oh, now he's throwing down some Shakespeare. Uh-oh. This has to make everyone nervous. He can see.
He took away his connectors. That's not cool.
But now he can finally realize his dream of producing and hosting a children's literature show on PBS.
That is true. Although, honestly, I think he could do that better with the visor. You picked the wrong woman, my friend. Why on earth would you throw away something that useful?
Oh, snap. Picard's plan's coming true. Please. Oh, yep. There's this connector thing again. I
If you
wonder
had both,
how.
that would be quite useful.
That's true. Oh, no.
Worf gets a woman? I would have thought Wesley would have been, given the fact that he's a teenager who went to a pleasure planet, would be the more inclined to want a woman than Worf.
Yeah, but now look at him. Like, Wesley can have any girl he wants. Oh, so that's how Klingons like it.
That is kind of how they like it. Let's be honest. We've seen enough Star Trek. That is kind of how they like it.
That's quite the display.
It's
It's
just
the
like,
snarl.
let's just like, I'll take it. Uh, wait, did his voice not change after
Yeah,
reaching
or
puberty?
either Will Wheaton recorded lines, or that guy does a really good impression.
I don't think anyone with that face can make that voice.
Because Picard knows all.
How come Tasha didn't get anything? Okay, why did you need to transport them 5 feet across the room?
Why not?
That just seems a bit excessive.
It's symbolic. Everyone in their place. Oh, words of wisdom.
Always good for a quote.
You know, once Q stops being like, so I'm going to condemn humanity and becomes more, I'm just going to bug Picard, he becomes a lot more fun.
He does. Because it is kind of his sport. That and trying to get Janeway to have his baby.
Oh, well, it's always a good day when Q shows up.
It is. Q, the Borg. I love this show so much.
Uh,
I don't know what we're going to do after season one's over. It's going to be a
well,
very heated debate because we've got a lot to choose from.
well, I do believe that's why it's, wait for it, star to be
To be
determined.
determined. Yes, that is true. Do we have any other executive business we need before we wrap this bad boy up?
Not podcast wise.
Well, then, thank you for a wonderful evening of Star Trek, and I think it is time to sign off, sir.
That's probably a great idea.
And goodbye.